All right, buddy. So go ahead and tell the people your name and where you're from for those that haven't seen part one of your episode.
I'm Matt Clark, and I am from just north of Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Canada, ladies and gentlemen. And his story was pretty damn good. I'll leave it linked in the comment section and in the description of the video for y'all to go check out his first story. But go ahead and tell the people, man, just a quick rundown. What the hell sent you to the pen and how long did you do?
Okay, so first time I was on, I was really nervous. I was all fidgety and stuff. So I'm glad that I'm back on. I get a chance to better explain myself. And honestly, 17 years total. Did a bunch of provincial sentences and 3 federal sentences. No violent convictions. Never been convicted of anything violent. All property, drug related, and like driving related and stuff.
And ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize if there's a little bit of lag. There's always a little bit of lag sometimes with these interviews, but bear with me. Over here in America, inmates can be a little salty with the courts, right? And they, honestly, I think they overcharge the hell out of people and give them way too much time. And a lot of people are doing life right now I think should be out by now. They've done changed their whole their whole standpoint in life. They're a new man. I believe they should be out. But let me ask you, is Canada anything like that? Are there people that just are salty and hold resentment that they're getting their boots smoked way too hard?
So there are definitely always guys like that. You got the guys that, they kind of like destroy their own future, and they like to blame it on everybody else, right? Like they do dope their whole life, their whole bit. Like say you're a lifer, or say you got 20 years, life 20 or life 25. My brother personally is a lifer. So my brother was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. He just got out this year at the beginning of January after 25 years, and he got out right on his date. He doesn't have a drug addiction problem. And as best as you can, you stay out of violence. And you have a chance of getting out in Canada unless you get a dangerous offender status. There's only like 400 or 500 of them in the whole country. You get dangerous offender, you're done. You're roasted, you can write it off. But other than that, you have a chance in Canada. And, for most charges, like I see how you guys get time down there. It's crazy. Some of the stuff we see that you guys get, like for weed charges in some states, 20 years. And like, man, up here, the only thing you're getting 20 years for is killing somebody. Or if you like,
and you still have a chance,
or you do like a handful of bank robberies or some crazy, like, and you're going to probably still get a chance to get out at some point on parole if you do the right things while you're inside.
So your personal experience within the judicial system in Canada, do you feel as though they overcharged you or gave you too much time for any charges, or do you feel as though it was all reasonable?
I would say, like, if you were somebody else and you got the time that I got for break and enters and stuff like that, it would be unreasonable. But because I have 60 plus convictions and I was a damn burden on the system for 15 years, I'm not going to sit here and cry and complain, or actually 20 something years, cry and complain and say that the system, screwed me. Because at the end of the day, I made my bed. I was a bad person from 15 to 25 years old. I did not care about anybody. After that, the drugs kept me in it and stuff like that. I genuinely wanted to get out of it. The hamster wheel situation happens. But before that, I was definitely a problem. Helicopters chasing me, full 10 break and enters a day. I was a teenager that was on the run from open custody and young offender prisons all the time. You couldn't keep me out. Like if you put me on probation, I'd run. If you put me in an open custody, I'd run. You put me in a halfway house, I'd run. So for me, no, I wouldn't say that I got screwed. I'd say actually a few times I probably got helped, because even last time I got
spared.
Sorry.
You said, so you think you might have actually gotten spared a little bit?
Yeah, because the last time I got charged, my last set of charges, I got 6 break and enters and a bunch of charges that go along, like theft charges and, burglary tools and stuff like that. Because of my past 2 federal sentences, if I would have been convicted of all those charges, I would have got football numbers. I would have got double digits for sure. Yeah. And in Canada, a break and enter for a person on their first case is probably 6 months into a residential home, right?
Yeah.
But and for me, because it was so long ago, my first break and enter, I got 15 days open custody to be served in like a halfway house in young offender.
Damn.
So times have changed, but for me, no, man, I was a pain in the ass, and I'm not going to blame anybody but myself.
Well, that's excellent, man. It's actually good, refreshing. It's refreshing to hear that, man. 'Cause I feel like I was kind of innocent in a way, but at the same time, I feel as though prison saved my life in a sense as well. But okay. See, I'm just trying to get, because a lot of people look at Canada and they're like, man, you know what? Canada's crime rate is rather low. They ain't locking people up like America. It seems to be they're functioning good. You know what I mean? And you look at us, people are getting smoked in the courtrooms and stuff like that. I'm just trying to understand why. What the hell is making it so more peaceful up there than down here? You know what I mean? So let me ask you this. When you're in a courtroom and you're in front of the judge, I've sat in front of judges many times where they don't even look at me. We're having the whole case, and all they're doing is looking at paperwork down in their lap. They don't even give a shit about what I look like, what I have to say, or nothing. Is it like that in Canada? Or do they actually sit there and talk with you? I mean, don't get me wrong. Some judges in America do. But you know what I'm saying. Is it like that over there, or do they,
They always talk with you. With the criminals.
With the criminals, yes.
They'll give you your mitigating factors. They'll give you the reason why they're sentencing you to this, the reason why they feel you're a danger or you're not. They'll tell you straight up sometimes if they feel like that you can be helped, or if you're just a lost cause. But I feel like, 50-50. Some judges are just trying to bury you, and some judges, they try to understand on some level. But at the end of the day, you got a biased view of the world when all you see is criminals all the time. And it's hard to look at the positive side of things. And the reality is we have to take ourselves out of that situation, right? Like, you don't want to be sentenced to a bunch of time by a jerk judge, then don't go in front of the judge, right? So it's like, listen to what they say. The last judge I had actually was very understanding. Now, he gave me 3 years, 8 months, 44 months. And that was for 2 break and enter. So he gave me that time for each break and enter concurrent to each other, and then gave me like a half an hour speech as to why he was doing me a favor. And at first, when I first got the time, I didn't get it,
Yeah.
But he's like, Mr. Clark, I could have refused this joint submission. You could have went to trial and lost on some more of these charges. And if you would have done that, you would have been looking at double digits. But because I feel like there's a small chance that maybe there's still something left in you and maybe some hope in you by the fact that you're pleading guilty and taking ownership of your charges, I'm going to do this for you. And you should say thank you right now. Now, I never did that because I was angry, obviously. I was getting the time. But when you sit back and look at it later on, you realize that they're not all trying to bury you, right? And the reality is, like, I've had some slaps in my time, so I can't sit up here and be like, I can't do that. I'd be lying if I did that.
Well, that's good. That's what I want. I want authenticity. I want truth, man. From you and Canadian viewpoint, looking down at America right now in its state, what do you think? What do you think is the problem here, man? Do you have any kind of does it compare to anything going on, I guess you could say, in Canada? You know what I mean? When it comes to like policing and all that stuff.
So I would say that definitely it happens up here. There's definitely racial profiling with policing. It happens everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the cops up here make really good money. And like a beat cop up here makes over $100,000 a year. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm telling you.
Holy crap!
The cops up here make good. They don't want to lose their jobs. I've been attacked and I've been beaten, and there have been murders of people. There was a girl recently, actually. Her name was Reggie Korchinski Paquette. This happened like a few weeks ago. It still happens, right? We had Sammy Yatin, who is a 16-year-old kid who is having a mental health break on a TTC streetcar with a knife. He was pulling his junk out and like acting crazy. And this cop, James Forcillo, shot him 8 times. He was on the ground. He's still shooting him. It's all caught on video, but that guy is now in the pen. That guy's doing like 8 or 10 years. Now, he probably would have got away with it if it wasn't on video.
Yeah.
But we're in a time of video, and I say this, when I look down at what's going on in the States right now, I feel bad for you guys, man, because like, even though all of our countries are torn, like we have racial issues up here like crazy too, more with the Native Americans, I would say, than with blacks or Muslims or anything like that. I would definitely say the Native Americans. There's been 1,850 something Native American women vanish on the Highway of Tears over the last 20 something years, and nobody cares. Almost 2,000.
Never even heard of this before.
That's what I'm telling you. And they're all, because they're prostitutes, they're Native American, and they're from the reserves and stuff, so nobody cares. The media gives it no attention. If you look it up, it happens. So it happens everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere, yeah.
But what I say when I see down in the States, what I see is a media that is trying to divide, and a very split government that is trying to use the divisiveness rather than togetherness to get their points across. And I feel like the Black Lives Matter movement and what's going on down there with people being killed by cops is crazy. How often we see that, how often we see mass shootings. Like, we don't have that stuff up here. Like, we might have a mass shooting once a year, and it's a guy with a handgun who goes and, shoots a bunch of people and a couple people die, but we don't have the same. Yeah. Actually, we just had a mass shooting recently with a guy with a rifle, a square jaw guy.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that, or it was on the news, yeah.
Yeah, he dressed up like a cop and went around. So it does happen everywhere, right? But you guys just have so many guns, I feel, and there's so many people that, and with the divisiveness being driven by the media, perpetuated by the media, how are people not going to be angry? The reality is people are bad and people are good. That's just how it is. And at the end of the day, you're not going to change anything if we're driving each other further apart. And we as Canada, we're protesting up here too. It's happening in Toronto. It's happening in Ottawa and stuff. And we 100% believe that it's about love and togetherness. And we try to be like that up in Canada. But obviously, things happen, and race is a killer because of how it's been perpetuated for the last 500 years.
Well, let me ask you this: I've never personally, been like beaten physically bad by the police, like severely bad, like a lot of people have. Yeah. And I haven't though, But one thing that I have witnessed throughout just about every officer that has arrested me, just about every one of them, you know what I mean, is there's some cocky assholes sometimes. They are super high horse and cocky, man, almost as though they are above the law. You know what I mean? That's one thing that I have seen throughout my time of crime, all right? Is it like that in Canada? Do the cops act high and mighty at all?
100%. So we have, in the Greater Toronto area, you have Durham Regional Police, you have York Regional Police, and you have Peel Regional Police, and then Metro Toronto Police. Those 4 police forces, all the beat cops, if you go to where I'm from, so I'm from York Region, which is like the suburbs, the beat cops up there are like 28, 29 years old, 6'3", 6'4", 240, 250, all in shape. They will chase you down and smash your face. And this is the thing, if you don't run, they won't, right?
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm a runner. I always have been a runner. And
So am I, man. So am I.
So I got in a high-speed chase one time in a 1984 Caravan, right? So I wasn't outrunning anybody. They were literally like driving around me, like just trying to corral me. But I'm like I'm crashing them off the street. And I turned into an Esso gas station, and there was only one pump open, and I'm going like 100K. And I'm driving that towards this pump, and I smashed into the squeegee, somehow managed to straighten it out and come through the pump. And when I came out the other side, the exit from the parking lot was like way over here. And I'm coming this way, and there's like this 20-something foot big, huge ditch. And I literally just crashed into this ditch. So when I got out and tried to run, the cop smashes me in my face, drops me, beats me up, handcuffs me. I'm laying there handcuffed, and I hear, "Get him!" And I go, "Get him? What is that?" And all of a sudden, there's a German Shepherd tearing my leg apart, okay?
Shit, them damn shepherds.
It had one blue eye, one brown eye. It was all black. My leg is now torn apart. They have it right here in my face going, ah, ah, ah.
Holy
now,
shit.
mind you, I smashed 4 cop cars off the street.
Yeah.
I deserved it.
Yeah, they were ready to let that thing go.
They beat me in front of the whole public. There was no hiding it. Then they took me to the hospital with my hands cuffed behind my back and made me lay on my arms for like 5 hours with my hands cuffed behind my back. Man, I couldn't feel my arms for like
that shit hurts, man.
Oh.
And I know they slapped them bracelets on tight.
Yeah, like no feeling in my arms for like a week.
That's crazy, man. And ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to go check out his first one, because he told a lot of wild stories on that one as well in prison. Let me ask you this, man. How the hell? Let's just go ahead and put all this stuff behind us. Canada, man. If I wasn't a felon, I'd probably be up there right now living. You know what I mean?
If you're not a felon, you should be up here, moving up here.
I know. And look, you got legal weed out there now. You
and
got
the boom, man. I got the boom. I've
been seeing the pictures.
I wish I could send you some, bro.
Hey, look. What was I gonna say? You got me all distracted now, man. Okay. How the hell's your channel been doing, man? I know what's going on with it, but has it been doing all right?
So I'm definitely on the slow grow.
Shit, so am I right now, man. Damn.
I'm Canadian, right? Like at the end of the day, I don't think they promote my channel all that much to American viewers.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I also don't want to sell myself out, right? Like my message is not to come on and act like a goon or try to like promote prison or gang life or any of that stuff. What I'm trying to do is show change and show that it's possible from somebody who they thought was a write-off. Like I was written off. My risk class, I was team supervision with no violence on my record. That does not happen.
Yeah.
That means that they can follow you on parole. You're on all kinds of crazy conditions. And just because I was such a burden, and you know what, man, like I just realized one day that it was such just a waste of time and it was just killing me and my soul. So I decided that I was going to start my channel at all costs. And when I did my first interview with you, I had 12 subscribers. After I did my interview with you, it jumped to like 600 or 700 subscribers. And since then, I've just been growing organically. And I try to be involved in the community to the people that I feel like I want to support, you know, and at first I used to let the trolls bug me, you know.
I was about to ask you about that.
They don't bug me anymore, man. I don't care. At the end of the day,
excellent.
The bigger you get, and the more good you're doing, the more trolls you're gonna get. So you should actually take it as a compliment. If they're wasting their time on trying to F with you, it's because you're somebody and you have something, or they wouldn't even bother.
Amen
so
to that.
At the end of the day, I'm now at about I'm gaining on 2,500 subscribers. I've been doing it for like 9 months. You know, and everything's organic. I've learned how to do everything myself. When I got out 2 years ago, I barely knew how to use a cell phone. So, you know, I've learned how to do all this different editing stuff. I've learned how to get all this stuff together, but I'm still learning. I'm piecing things together. Like I got the DSLR, but I don't have the lens yet.
Yeah.
You know, I'm piecing it all together slowly.
It
because
takes time, my friend. Takes time.
I work legitimately,
yeah.
You know, and I have a good job, but like, I don't make money off YouTube, you know, it's like a little 100 here, 100 there. It's nothing major. So like, it doesn't really pay for anything. So I have to slowly like nip away at it myself. And at the end of the way, that's what I want to do. You know, I'm like, it has created purpose for me. Like I've learned that idle time is real bad for me. And I've learned that by staying active. You know, I work 50 hours a week. I do my YouTube channel. I ride a bike. I walk I count my steps. I walk almost 100 kilometers a week.
Damn.
I work out. I work a lot. I ride a bike all the time. I just am super active because I have to be. Like if I get bored and if I get a lot of time on my hands, then I'll start getting creative. And when I get creative with things that aren't good to make money, I get in trouble, And so the YouTube thing is great, man. And I really appreciate your channel.
Thank you, man.
And you've helped a lot of people. And I see that there's some stuff going on sometimes, but like I said, just ignore all that, bro. You're better than that. And you have laid the platform for a lot of us, right? And at the end of the day, if somebody's going to turn and throw shots, just ignore that shit. People, we see it. We see it.
I like to sometimes, I don't know what it is. It draws me to do this, but the people that hate me, I try to become friends with them. You know what I mean? I don't know why. It's just something. It's because I think I just know that they're seeing me wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm a really good dude, man. I'm funny. I'm cool as hell to chill with. Don't get me around just smoking blunt or something. Shit, we really can have fun. You know what I mean? But look, yeah, that's all I'm saying. So it is what it is. But you got to take it with the territory, right? And I'm glad you moved past and beyond that little stage in YouTube. And hopefully, man, you gain some more subs, man. I really want you to get bigger, man. You're a good dude. You got some good content on your channel. And you don't get caught up in all the bullshit either, man. You're minding your P's and Q's, staying in your lane and doing your thing, man. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'll leave it pinned in the comment section, description of the video. Why don't you tell them the name of it really quick?
It's the new Matt Clark. My Instagram is also the new Matt Clark, all small letters, all one word. I speak on recovery. I speak on prison. I speak on life. You can hit me up. We talk. I do live streams. I do a lot of different videos. I'm starting to break into the interviews, so thank you for the idea. Like, I bring my girl on and we speak about relationships and recovery. Like, we do a lot of different things. So yeah, you should check me out, the new Matt Clark.
Excellent, man. That sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, all my Canadians out there, salute to every last one of y'all out there. And look, if there's anything else going on, that I might want to hear, up north's viewpoints on, hopefully you come on and tell us about it. All right, man?
Yeah, brother. Holler at me anytime, man.